Hey babies, sweeties, I hope y'all are doing okay. Here is day 4, and welcome to anybody that's joining you. This is day 4 of trigonometric ratios and using trig to solve the problems. So the standards that we're going to cover today is we're going to talk about the relationship between the complementary angles of sine and cosine. We're going to talk about the trig ratios, and we're going to use these trig ratios to help us solve problems. All right, so let's get this thing going. So what you're going to learn today is your trig ratios, how to label the sides of the right triangle, and how to use these ratios to solve problems. So your homework for tonight is to watch day 5 of the videos, and we'll keep going from there. There are no new words here. You can go back and watch day 3 to get the new words. I'll go over them quickly. Hypotenuse here is always the slanted side of a right triangle. Sine is always opposite over hypotenuse. That's the sine ratio. Cosine is always opposite. I'm sorry, not opposite, but adjacent over hypotenuse. Just a sec. Tangent is always opposite over adjacent. And the opposite side is the side across from the chosen angle. And you can go see the picture from the last video. And the adjacent side is always the side next to the chosen angle. That's not slanted. Okay, your trig ratios is SOHCAHTOA, or some old hood rat called another hood rat, taking off Adidas. That's my acronym. That's the one we used in high school. You can always use another one. Find you something creative, whatever it takes to help you remember. Complementary angles are when two angles add to equal 90. And theta is this little symbol right here. It's the symbol for angle. It's one of the symbols that we use to represent angles. All right, so let's keep it moving. So with this, you're going to need a calculator for this lesson. If you don't have a calculator, then you can always go and use Google, a scientific one, or you can go and here's a site right here with Desmos that you can use. Please, guys, please get your scientific calculator or your own graphing calculator, because it's better if I train you on that and then you can have it for the test, and then there's no issue with you having to relearn a new calculator on the test. So we're going to try this problem together. It says find the missing side, round the answer to the nearest tenth. So here they gave us the angle, and the slanted side is always called the hypotenuse, and we're going to go try to find this hypotenuse. So because I don't have my finger, I'm going to use a shape, and I'm going to cover up this right here. And this is going to help me label the other sides. The side that this shape is touching is the adjacent side, and the side that the shape is not touching is the opposite side. I'm going to move this over to the side because we need that angle still. So here, now I'm going to write SOHCAHTOA at the top of my paper. I'm going to look at the side that I'm trying to find and the side that I know. And I have an adjacent side and a hypotenuse side. So I need to go and figure out which trig function fits adjacent and hypotenuse. And that is cosine. That's this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little circle to help me figure out how to solve this problem. I'm going to draw a little circle here, and this you have seen in probably your physical science class, or at least one of your science classes. And it looks very much like density equals mass over volume. It looks very similar to this. So here, I'm going to draw my little circle, and how I figure this out, I'm going to say cosine always starts Cosine of theta always starts in this bottom left part of the circle. The adjacent always go at the top, and the hypotenuse always go to the side. And when you write this out, the trig ratio for this is cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay? So here, what I'm going to do is fill in my circle. I'm going to fill in my circle with the information that I'm given. And I know I'm using cosine because I have an adjacent and a hypotenuse, and that's the one that matches. So I have my little second circle here, and I'm going to fill it in. So I know I'm going to use cosine of theta, and theta stands for an angle. So I'm going to say cosine of 72. The side that I know is the adjacent side. So I'm going to say 6 goes here. That's my adjacent. And it says hypotenuse, I don't know. So I'm going to put X here for the hypotenuse because I don't know it. Now you're going to take your finger. You're going to take your finger and you are going to cover up the side that you're trying to find. I'm going to use a triangle here to help me cover up the side I'm trying to find. And let me get a different color. Let's use a star. And give me a second. Let me fill this shape so it looks different. Oops. Put that down. All right. Just a second, guys. I wanted to change the color of this shape, but it changed the outline instead. All right, I'm not gonna fight with it too much, but you get the idea here. Put your finger on this part. So the star part, or put your finger here, is the part that we are trying to, let me try one more thing. Let me see if I can bring this at least to the front so we're not seeing it. Let's see. No. Okay, I'm not gonna waste any more time on that. I'll figure it out later. So put your finger on here. You're gonna cover up the side that you're trying to find. And if you notice, what we have left is 6 over the cosine of 72. And that should equal X, which is the hypotenuse, what we're looking for. Now you go and you get your calculator, and you're going to put that in your calculator. So you're going to go to those that have a graphing calculator. You can push alpha, y equals, and enter. And those that don't have a graphing calculator, you have a fraction key on your calculator. Push it so that it looks like this. And if you can't find it, you can go ahead and Google that information or bring it back to class, and I'll show you how to do it. However, yeah, bring it back to class and I'll show you how to find it. But hopefully you Google before you come to class so you can get the work done. So here, I'm putting this in, and I'm going to push enter. I'm going to double check my mode to make sure it stayed on degree, so we're good. So here, we know that 19 point, and it said round to the nearest tenth. So since this is a 1, this doesn't make this 4 go up. So 19.4 is what X equals. And we did it. And you can do this for all of the trig ratios. And let me go ahead and show you if you want to use sine. If sine is the one you need to use, then you fill in your circle. You fill in your circle. And you put in, down here at the bottom, you put sine theta here. Opposite goes here, and hypotenuse go here. You put your finger on the part you're trying to solve for. And if you want to use tan, or if tan is the one you need to use, then you're going to go put, oopsie. You're going to go and put your circle here. You're going to put tan here, adjacent here, and opposite down here. And then you got it. And this is how you Did I do it backwards? Yeah, I did it backwards. It should be opposite over adjacent. I get those confused sometimes myself. So here, opposite over adjacent. There you go. So you just follow your ratio. You follow your ratio. Let me give you some more. Here, sine equals sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. And then tan theta also equals opposite over adjacent. Okay? And there you go. You got it. So hopefully this is helpful to you. And what I want you guys to do is to go through, solve the questions on your paper, and I'll see you at school tomorrow.